And just so I understand, one of those root causes of poverty being from the father absence,
Right.
is that because there's one less vehicle to help financially support the family, wherein the mother, who ultimately I suspect in that instance is raising the child,
Right.
only has the one? I mean, is that it? I mean, is that
Well,
why, or is it just because systemically it forces that?
Systemically, that's what's forced. But you got to think, the mother, single wage earner. We all know that women earn less, and you know, it's not just the finances. I mean, you got to think about all these other things that surround being in a single mother environment. These children are exposed to so many more negative outcomes because the mother is typically working 2 or 3 jobs. She cannot supervise as she needs to or wants to. So the children are exposed to the internet, television, and they don't have a filter. And these things, like you said earlier, it's a cycle. Children who grow up in father-absent homes are typically going to perpetuate that same cycle and end up being parents out of wedlock and just continue that vicious cycle that we're trying to break. But you know, that income piece is huge, and so we're always constantly harping on our men to make certain that they pay their financial child support obligations. That is a huge part of our program. We want men to be responsible. We're not letting any of our men slide on being fully responsible and fully involved. But we also want the men to understand that there's more to being a dad than just providing monetary support. There's so much more, that nurturance, that guidance that men have overlooked providing, telling their sons that they love them, that they're proud of them. You know, I've got so many men that come into our program, they've never heard their dad say, "I love you. I'm proud of you, son." You know, and so I make it a point to tell these men that I love them, that I'm proud of them for the efforts that they undertake. And we celebrate even the smallest achievement because this builds their esteem and helps them be the men they need to be.
We've got a little less than 10 minutes, Wallace. As you think about some of those small achievements, some examples of that are, I mean, what are some of the small ones that you celebrate, and of course some of the big ones, the graduation ceremony that will be held this Saturday, early afternoon, but some of the small steps, is it getting the driver's license, getting that first job oftentimes so that they can help provide some financial support.
Right. I mean, you know, we do a lot when it comes to employment readiness. As a matter of fact, on the 18th, we're going to be having a vendors luncheon at the Conway Chamber of Commerce, and we're trying to get employer partners that are willing to hire the men in our program. Because we're returning qualified men to the labor pool. And the training that the men go through, getting them career-minded, getting them ready, how to get and keep a job, how to conduct themselves in an interview. We do a lot of mock interviews. We talk to them about proper resume preparation, how to fill out an application, all those things, those nuts and bolts about getting involved, getting a job and getting on that job and being a good employee. So, you know, we're inviting businesses to come out and hear more about A Father's Place specific to that employment piece and learn what we're doing for these men, because we provide, once a man is hired, there's a lot of tax benefits that I don't think a lot of employers know about if they hire low-income persons. There's some federal bonding that is available. There's just a lot of benefits to hiring our men, and we provide that post-hire support, because we're always going to be there mentoring the men and checking, making certain, and helping them navigate through being a good employee.
I bet a lot of businesses would want to know that. If any of our viewers are business owners or works for a business that they think their employer would like to know more about that. Have you all set a time for that on the 18th?
Oh, it starts at noon.
At noon, there at the Conway Area Chamber of Commerce. Real easy to find right when you cross over the bridge on the left. If you're coming up from the beach, that would be open to folks outside of Horry County or just here in Horry County?
Oh, well, I mean, primarily here in Horry County, but I mean, we would definitely be interested to hear of whatever opportunities are out there.
Most of our viewers are in the PD in southeastern North Carolina. If anyone's tuning in right now, of course, they could find out a lot of information at afathersplace.org or by just calling you at the 843-488-2923 number. But if they were able to come to Conway for an event there at noon on the 18th, they may learn some things they didn't know, but those programs to benefit the employers, those would be applicable statewide or just here in Horry County?
Statewide.
Okay, great, or federally even.
And also, we're one of 7 fatherhood programs on 13 sites around the state. So there's a site in Marlboro County, and there, you know, around the state, there's various other sites.
Another one in the PD, or just one in Marlboro?
One in Marlboro. There's one in Florence. One in Georgetown.
Great.
So we're around, and we're all providing that same service, really trying to help men get involved.
That's tremendous. Well, I remember when your predecessor was with us 3 or 4 years ago, Michael Burgess, I believe, had traveled over from Columbia, who'd been real involved there, and I think you said kicking off a Father's Place back in 2000. So clearly, you all have grown tremendously. You probably, I guess, you've got your 10th anniversary coming up year after next.
Yeah,
that's a big
exciting.
deal. Yeah, that is. Who are some of the other folks involved in the mission here and help making it happen? Do you have area counselors? Who are some of the ways? Is this all coming from you? Do you all have an active board?
Yeah,
how's it structured?
Yeah, we have an active board. Originally, the Community Coalition of Horry County, headed by Margene Wallace, was instrumental in creating a Father's Place. The Conway Improvement Coalition. We have many other partners, Department of Social Services here locally, and other agencies, nonprofits, and just concerned community members have really helped us move forward. And we're excited about the fact that we've been here for almost 9 years, going into our 10th year, and looking for new things.
Right. Let's talk real quick. We got about 5 minutes, Wallace, as we think about the process. Of course, helping them, as you said early on, folks who may not have a driver's license get a driver's license, who may not have a job, get those steps to getting a job. What are some of the other processes that have to go in place? Just letting them know, A, they can be active role models. They can say, I love you, as you shared with their son or daughter. Are there particularly difficult steps for a father who has a daughter, for instance, or a father who has a son? How do y'all go about coaching or being involved in mentoring the fathers who may have daughters who are just different than them, or they think that?
Yeah, they think that. We case by case. We work with each man. We talk to him about his particular situation. We want the men to understand the child stages of development, so that they do developmentally appropriate activities and such with their children.
Good.
So it's my oldest daughter is my oldest child is a daughter, and it's very interesting to be a father and trying to engage with a young lady. She's 16 now, and so
16,
so that's tough. So we talk to the men about what it means to be a dad, having a daughter, the necessity of taking her out on some dates.
Good
Showing her what it means for a good man to take her out, how a man should treat her, how a man should conduct himself when he is with her. So, I do a lot of that stuff with my daughter and take her out, and we go to the movies and go out to eat. Just really have open lines, one-on-one. Good open lines of communication is what we teach the men, daughter or son. Those things are applicable. Of course, with a daughter, there are some differences, but overall, these are some life lessons that fathers have to utilize.
And some of the mentoring programs, do you all have mentors there? How is that set up? How many folks will be in the program at a regular, on a normal week, let's say? Or, how many folks are meeting at your weekly meetings?
Well, we're averaging about 15 in Conway and about 12 in Myrtle Beach.
Is that right?
Yeah.
15 in Conway, 12 in Myrtle Beach. Now, are you doing all these on your own?
No.
Yeah.
No, we've got a staff.
Director, you've got an active staff there.
Staff.
Yes. Wallace.
Yeah.
Okay. And so oftentimes they're counselors. Are these trained counselors?
Right, and they're working with the men one-on-one, day in and day out, helping them work through their one-man plan and accomplishing their goals.
What can our viewers do to support fathers? What can the community do, Wallace, to support fathers?
Well, first of all, I think that really considering how you view fathers and view fatherhood. Of course, that's going to be one of the keys. We want to see fathers as being critical partners with mothers in raising children. We're important. We matter. Our opinions matter. Our perspective matter. Just first of all, just thinking about how you view fatherhood. But of course, we always need monetary support. We are a 501c3, and to continue and to expand, we're going to need funding. But all sorts of in-kind donations, work clothes for the participants, incentives, coupons, things of that nature to reward our men, so they can take their children out to various events. Some things in Myrtle Beach are costly. If someone wanted to provide some coupons to, say, one of the water parks or something like that, we could utilize any of those type items, and work clothes and work boots and tool belts, and I could go on and on and on and on about the things that we need.
There's a lot of great information on your website. There's a donate page for monetary donations, a great wish list from as basic as paper and paper napkins and shoes and other, I mean, as you say, to
Exactly.
very advanced things that folks could donate in kind, which is tremendous. And you are a 501c3, as
Yes.
you said. That's
Yes.
great. That's great. You know, when you think through those steps of ways, just getting people to possibly reevaluate their own thoughts, their own views of fathers. You say Homer Simpson or the guy from the Family Guy or otherwise.
Right,
They
exactly.
can be pretty negative perceptions there.
Right. And so we've got to do a better job. We've got to challenge the media to promote more positive father images.
Right.
That's just all there is to it. I mean, we've got to make certain that our children are exposed to men and fathers that are positive role models. And most of all, we need the church to pray. And we do need to be undergirded with prayer for our work, because it is so important. We need prayer because we do have a spiritual component to our program.
Good.
In really guiding the men. We're not evangelizing or proselytizing, but we are making certain the men understand that they have a spirit, and they need to be concerned about that and how important that their spirit guides them and leads them.
The program is open to all ages.
Yeah, 18 and up.
18 and
Yes.
up. Okay, so as long as you're a father and you're older than 18. And is it open oftentimes to even married men, or is it just
definitely.
single day? Okay.
No, definitely. Any father in any situation, we're here for them, trying to provide the services that they need.
What do you think drives you, Wallace, here? You think about this. Was it that early experience, the age 20?
Yeah, that's
what
definitely what it
continues
is.
to drive you now?
Oh, definitely. And having the opportunity to give back. These men need love, need guidance, need support, and that just I'm just welled up within to be able to be there for them, and to help a man avoid some of the mistakes I made just means so much. It is tremendous to see a man, the light bulb go on, and he knows he matters, and he resolves the issues he has with the mother of his child. I've had some get married to the mother of their child. After having all these difficulties, they decide that what's in the best interest of their children, in the best interest of their relationship, is to then get married. It's those things that when you see these happy endings, that it really means so much.
That's tremendous. Wallace, thanks so much for being
Thank
with us
you.
this morning. I'm sorry we've run out of time.
I am
Get out
too.
this weekend. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Wallace Evans, the Executive Director of A Father's Place. Coming up next. The Place is a Father's Place main office right there in Conway off of 378. This Saturday's the event, a Father's Day celebration. A Father's Day celebration. Take the time to get out there, 11 to 3, right there off of 378. You can visit them online at afathersplace.org, afathersplace.org, or pick up the phone, 843-488-2923. I love this testimonial off their website. I got to read it. We've seen a change in our daddy. He takes us to all kinds of places with him. He talks to us differently now. He kneels down when he talks to us. 2 daughters of a father who graduated from the program. Take the time to learn more about A Father's Place at afathersplace.org. Wallace Evans, thanks so much for
Thank
making
you.
a difference. Absolutely.